Hello, my name is Robert Hutner. This is, make sure you don't see me. This is me. Make sure you just see my name. You got it. Okay. Um, this is my country and culture project. I got Israel. So let's keep this relatively short and brief. Starting right up. Oops. Let me enter the slideshow. There we go. All right. No more. Here we go. All right, so this first slide, just some basic facts about Israel. It was founded May 14th, 1948, as a population of about 9,227,476 people. It's located in the Middle East. Its prime minister is Benjamin Netanyahu, as you see, surrounded by three different countries. If you're planning on starting a business here, there is some foreign conflict going on around that region, so keep that in mind. Um, some other facts. The number one trade partner. They are number one trade partners with the United States. They primarily export raw materials, cut diamonds, refined petroleum, pharmaceuticals, computers, and textiles. As a parliamentary democracy, primary language is Hebrew, and they have a very diverse country, but their main religion is Judaism. They have a free trade agreement with the United States and Canada, and they have partnered with multiple other trade associations as well. All right, their government, like I just said, is a parliamentary democracy. It's actually set up very similar to the United States. It has a legislative branch, an executive branch, and a judicial branch. They hold an election every 4 years. They do have a they do have freedom of press, freedom of expression. So again, very similar setup to our country. So if you were to go there, it's actually set up very similarly. So you would still be relatively familiar with it. All right, so making appointments in Israel. Um, very casual, I would say. They don't particularly have a very punctual society, so you can expect your business partner to be 15 to 20 minutes late. Obviously, check in with your partner, have an agenda and have pre-planned appointments as that can be dependent. Very similar business hours to the United States, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But Sundays to Thursdays, as Friday is usually Shabbat, but that's usually particularly with a Jewish audience. Lunch hours similar to the United States as well. They are typically used for business purposes. A lot of religious holidays take place during the fall, so that September October area. So be prepared to work around that a little bit. And if you do have a host that is Muslim, business hours are shortened during Ramadan. Business attire, for the most part, just like the United States, business casual, suit, tie, polo, long sleeves, things of that nature. If you are a woman, be prepared to be dressed even more conservatively. If your host is Orthodox Jewish or very Orthodox Muslim, you would just want to be a little bit more cognizant of those type of things. First meeting, you should just dress as you normally would in your host country. All right, negotiation. Make sure you research your Israeli partner because he's going to research you and he expects you to know a little bit about him. So don't show up not really knowing much about him. Don't be too argumentative with your language, like too much negotiation. Be short, direct. You're stating what you want from your business partner. Um, business because the business discussions can be very loud and argumentative. It is acceptable for you to mirror this, so don't be shy. You don't want to look. It will make you look a little weak if you're not being direct with them. Um, Also, be flexible. It may only take one meeting for you guys to come to a conclusion on your negotiation, or it could take multiple. So it could be one or five. So expect multiple meetings or expect it to be done quickly. Be flexible. All right, gift giving, very important in Israel. It's almost expected, and it can be seen as offensive if you do not have a gift. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be expensive, and you really only have to avoid pork products if these are not kosher. So just focus on modest gifts, books, small items, from your home country. Um, something you can pop on the desktop. They'll very much appreciate. All right, so make sure you're very comfortable with strong communication. As I said, it can get loud. They're very direct, so be very comfortable with face-to-face communication, but avoid American slang. Learn a few Hebrew phrases. Shalom is a really simple, easy one. Means hello. Make sure not to jump straight into business negotiations. You really want to get to know the person. Talk about very casual things, family, friends, some professional topics where you want to travel. Avoid political topics, especially with today's climate, with what's going on. No matter what your opinion on it is, if you're doing business in Israel, avoid it. It's going to do you and your host no benefits. Entertainment, expect invitations for coffee and soft drinks. Those are also very much expected during business meetings. So make sure if you are hosting them that you offer and it's available. If you're invited for lunch or dinner, make sure you have preferences and the host know, as they are very particular about that and they don't want to offend you and they will actually be offended if you don't give them your preferences. If you are hosting, avoid places that have a heavily pork-based menu and with certain seafood. Um, Granted, this is in Israel, so most places should be basically fine with this. Social events are acceptable for business, and thank you letters are very much appreciated. Public etiquette. All right, the public, the general citizenry of Israel is very direct. Just like business discussions, they can be loud. They're very unfiltered. So, unlike with the United States, expect to have a bit of thin skin. It's almost gonna be like Boston or New York City in a lot of ways. Conservative clothing is heavily recommended, especially for women, especially if you're in a very religious conservative area, such as Jerusalem. Um, People tend to speak loud and fast, even in confined areas. Roads are very busy, so expect very aggressive drivers. Being from the United States, you should be used to that anyway. Um, if you are in a religious area that's more Orthodox Jewish, expect driving not to be available on Shabbat. Roads can very well be closed. Okay, public smoking is banned. There are designated areas. Tips very casual, 10 to 15%, much like the United States. Okay, for opening a business, Israel is perfect for this. It's known as a startup nation, as it's the 35th ranked easiest place to do a business, as over 6,400 startup companies. It has very easy rules to follow. It has a well-balanced tax policy that's not overbearing. It has strong international trade relationships, like I already discussed briefly in the second slide. Um, all you really want to make sure you do is to be very, very, very disciplined with your financial practices. While the rules are simple and very streamlined, they are expected for you to follow, and they're very heavy-handed on if you're discovered to be not following those rules. Um, the main companies that do really well are going to be tech startups, but also medical-based pharmaceutical companies do really well as well. Okay, so um, that's my presentation. Um, as you see, Israel is a relatively diverse country, and doing business there is very easy. Just be prepared to be very direct, very short with short with how you talk. Expect loud discussions, but just be flexible, and it's actually very casual. And through this research, it seems to be easier to conduct business in Israel when it comes to meetings and such, as it's not as punctual and it's a lot more laid back. All right. So thank you for coming and looking at my presentation. These are my citations if you want to follow up on anything. Okay. Bye.